So let's go into your reading here. The first message that basically comes out here is we have here the Eight of Pentacles. And this is a card overall about continuing in the same strides, okay? Working very hard, being conscientious about the work that we're doing, being methodical, and being very diligent. So working very diligently to achieve tasks, to cross off things on your list. I do feel what it denotes here is that I am sensing a lot of you could be in the process of sending out your resume, sending out job applications, trying to seek either a new job or a secondary stream of income. And I do feel income boost coming through greatly for this month going forward into the August timeframe. Okay, so they're saying like positive feedback will be coming back for you. And I feel like if you're sending out the job applications this month, you might be hearing back like in the August timeframe, or there will be new contracts that are signed in the August timeframe. But overall, both of these cards indicate that finances and practical responsibilities are things that you're working very hard at for this month. And the last message associated here with both of these cards is that I feel it's a little bit of a busy month. There's a lot on your plate. I feel a big energy of some of you still in school. So you're in school, you're also, rooming with other people. And you're also trying to find possibly, it's the summer time frame, well, in the Northern Hemisphere. So you might have time off from school. So you're trying to find work to fill in the summer months. So you have a little bit more of a stream of income. So you have some disposable income. And I do feel some of you are working one job. Now you have a little bit more free time. Things have eased up in the work environment. And so you're taking on a second job, for example. And I feel that it's going to pan out for you wonderfully. And I do see a lot of internet-based type of research that you're doing, looking up rules, looking up regulations, doing research in a, first of all, I feel like scientific research with this card. This is like internet-based. And I also feel like practical research, such as experimentation, figuring out what works, figuring out what's not working. And the thing that they want you to be a little bit careful about, do things in moderation, okay? So whatever money that's coming through, make sure you set some money aside, mainly because I do feel a little bit of an overindulgent aspect with this card here, the Nine of Cups. This is a card about being very satisfied, being just really happy, feeling elated, and feeling as if you have all the things that you need at your disposal. However, it's linked up here with the Fool, which denotes that there might be, a little bit of a emotional splurge, like buying things and having an emotional response to objects, item, purchasing power, for example, and getting rid of your disposable income that you might need for a rainy day. So be really careful about, emotional spending or spending outside your means, or being too overindulgent about what you are, where you're putting your money and what you're spending your money on. Okay, so being careful about that. I also feel some of you are contemplating major travels as well. And with this card, it usually indicates to me, like, for example, if you're in a work environment, and there might be team building activities, and you all might travel as a team, or there will be seminars, events, conferences that is sponsored for you to travel. So I do feel some of you are called upon, pulled upon to represent your company and to also be able to travel. And I feel like the travel can happen between now, this is June, and the September timeframe. So I do feel your world is opening up overall, your ability to communicate with teach other people as well. So communication is quite important for this month. And so they're saying, try to reach out a little bit more with coworkers in the work environment, try to reach out more and network with new people, mainly because I do feel that when we have a lot of responsibilities, or when we are too busy, we're kind of like keeping our head down, and we're not really receptive or aware of what's happening in our environment. And we might not be able to communicate in a way that is allowing other people to, really find us approachable, find us likable. So it's really important for you to be on the forefront of that for this month, okay? What I'm also sensing is I feel like some contracts coming through for many of you. And contracts basically means it could be related to, for example, you might have applied for something, and I'm sensing, I'm getting big student vibe here. So I'm feeling like applying for a scholarship, applying for a fellowship, applying for an internship. And I do feel that in that case, you are then going to have to travel, possibly, you know, doing a phone walkthrough or a phone interview or even like a Skype interview. And I also feel that you are looking for opportunities and you're trying to decide as well, you know, do I want to stay here or do I want to move? Okay. So it's almost like if you're looking for an internship, you might have to really think long and hard. Um, are there things that are available to me in my current existing environment? Or do I need to travel a little bit further so that I can, you know, get the internships that I want? So there's an element here about being very comfortable with the status quo. You have a good living environment. You have things that you don't really need to, you know, that are bringing you a lot of comfort and stability. But comfort and stability can also come at the expense of turning down opportunities that are allowing you to grow, that are allowing you to expand even further. So I feel like there's this, you know, catch 22. On the one hand, it's very, very stable here. But on the other hand, other opportunities are trying to come through. And so I feel like you might be solicited, or you might be, people around you might be referring you to opportunities that are going to be made available. And so it's really important for you to sign or to apply for those new opportunities. And I do see a lot of internships, people looking for internships, trying to boost their resume and trying to figure out ways in which they can accumulate new practical skills that they can put on their CV, or they can put on their resume, or they can use that as kind of like that stepping stone job. And I do feel that you already have a lot on your plate already for this month. And so you're trying your best not to, on the one hand, inundate yourself with a lot more on your plate, but at the same time, it's like there are so many opportunities for travel, and traveling outside of the area might bring the higher quality, the better internships. So it's going to be, I don't feel like it's busy the way that the other two air signs that the videos that I've done for the other two air signs, but it's still going to require a lot of, you know, staying nimble on your feet, like staying nimble on your toes, and making sure that you grab opportunities, or at least reflect on them when they come in. You will get a lot of news, a lot of communication, and it could be through via email, you know, like it could be a listserv, it could be like a subscription, and they're sending you all these opportunities that you should apply for. There is a definite deadline. And so I feel you knocking them out one by one. Okay. So like sending your resume out, or sending your, letter of interest out for this internship, and then another one comes in. And so there's a lot of just keeping your mind on how you can boost your resume, how you can accumulate more practical skills overall. And so it's going to be a very, very dynamic month for many of you, and there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of new energies trying to come through altogether. The last thing that I'm going to leave off this reading with here is that I'm sensing for some of you, it just feels to me like you are starting new relationships. Okay, so on the one hand, I feel like there is a relationship that it seems to me like it's very unfair, unbalanced and unfair. And I feel that you're sailing away from it. You're moving past it. You're no longer ruminating, thinking about it, and kicking yourself over what transpired or what you should or should not have done in that relationship. And I feel for some of you, it could be like a significant other. For others, it could be like a family member that you were dealing with. And I'm sensing that you're overcoming the grief associated with that relationship. You're starting a new phase and trying to move on. And I do sense as well, there is an element here about, you know, don't keep yourself stagnant, okay? Aim for new opportunities, okay? So having said that, I'm going to go into your love reading and see what's going on for you guys. Okay. So let me talk about the foundation, because I feel like regardless of who you're dealing with right now, we have a really good match coming through. So the foundation is something that you know to be true, and you already come into the month of June with the knowledge of, okay? We have here the lovers, and the lovers is what I call like reciprocal exchange, okay? You feeling very much enamored with another person and feeling like the relationship can go the distance. And this is a card where you're very compatible with another person. There's great chemistry. There's great physical attraction, but there's also that innate sense of friendship and camaraderie and, you know, the ability to, I guess, feel like you really like the person that you're with. Okay. So it's linked up here with the Knight of Coins. This is the Knight of Pentacles, and this is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. And I feel what's happening here is this person is somebody that is very attracted to you. And you likewise are very much enamored with them. I do feel that there is an element here about one person having to travel a lot and then the other person staying home. And this is the month in which I feel like their work situation might slow down a little bit, so you both can actually have some time to, I guess, you know, either travel together or have some time alone where you both can kind of like reignite that passion, that spark in the relationship. And if this is somebody that you have recently started dating, they can be a little bit slow when it comes to planning, when it comes to showing their feelings, showing their emotions towards you, and bearing their soul to you. But I feel like in the process of being slow, they're also very cautious and methodical. And there is great chemistry that you have with this person. Moving from the past situation, we have here the King of Swords as well as the Sun. So I feel like because we have here the King of Swords and also the Queen of Swords, it indicates to me a very, very good match that you have with another person. So I feel a lot of you have left relationships behind, met somebody new. And this person is kind of like somebody who is exactly on your caliber. They are very communicative, very emotionally expressive and verbally expressive. I want to say like incredibly, incredibly intelligent. And the problem that the one thing that I feel coming through, not so much a problem, but so this is a good match, right? Like the king and the queen of the same suit. However, I feel as if there is a sense of competition. There's a sense of like wanting to upstage one another, but I feel like it's friendly competition. A relationship that is rooted in competition to see who can do better, to see who can outperform one another, but it's all done in a spirit of competition. So I feel like you have somebody that you really like. They have a great sense of humor. They're very incredibly intelligent. And there's also this sense of you both wanting to, you know, it's like one up one another. So it's a relationship built on quite a very dynamic energy, and two people wanting to grow together. I feel like if you're dating this person, there is really strong, like under the current, there's really, really strong physical chemistry, but it's not really spoken about. It's not really talked about, because this is your representation, and it basically indicates somebody that is more comfortable with ideas, comfortable with philosophies, comfortable with, you know, I want to say like, it's not so much superficial communication, but communication that airs on the safe zone, you know, very nonchalant types of communication. So you have somebody that you definitely like. And I feel like they like you too, but no one is really saying anything about it. So there is kind of like stalled energy, and you both might flirt with each other, but you do it in a way where it's very cerebral. It's very verbal rather than physical. And I feel like it's a really, really good match that you're coming across this person for this month. Okay. Crowning this reading is something that you're thinking about. And what you're thinking about here is the this is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands basically indicates very quick, very swift, very rapid communication between two people. So I feel that you do want to have more communication. Some of you as well are thinking about communicating with an ex-partner who or you have an ex-partner who is trying to reach out to you, and there has been a lot of strife. You are meeting a new person and you're just trying to move on with your life. But there is some solicitation as well coming through from an ex-partner. And in the process of, being in this new relationship and you're trying to move things to the next level, you both are solidifying your plans as to, let's live together, let's move in together, let's take the relationship to the next level, let's meet our parents and things like that. So the Hierophant indicates a lot of stability, a lot of promises that are going to be made, and a lot of plans created and solidified for the future as a result of, meeting somebody that is really on par with you and that can be a very, very good match with you. The thing that I feel happening here, Libras, is that I feel many of you are a very intelligent sign, and you are the least scattered of all the air signs. Your energy is a lot more focused and a lot more directed compared to like an Aquarius or a Gemini. And when you choose relationship partners, looks aren't going to be everything. You want somebody with substance. You want somebody that you can have conversations with. And you're not a confrontational sign, but you do want somebody that can help you grow, that can really challenge your stance, challenge your beliefs. Okay. So you don't want just a smooth, stable, harmonious relationship. You do want that element of drama. You do want that element of playful, competition in the relationship. And you are meeting somebody that is your exact match. Okay. They might not be an air sign. And I feel like for some of you, it might be an earth sign. So a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And I feel like Taurus energy coming through very strongly, but they have the mind, the mind of a scientist. They know how to dissect information. They don't take things lying down. They know how to question things, and they don't, they're smart enough to ask questions, question things, and then, not have to rely on other people to tell them what to think. They are very independent mentally. So you are meeting your match for this month, and I feel some of you might already come into the month having feelings, like romantic feelings for somebody. You're hoping for more communication, and I do see that you're going to be able to get really positive feedback from them. The advice I would give you is I feel like it would be important to soften up your energy a little bit. And the reason why I say that is we have a card here about, strong physical connection, like really strong chemistry. We have a card here as well as two people who might be different, but there's that sense of like opposites attract, very strong chemistry, very strong connection. Okay, this is a card about seduction. It's a card about flirtation as well. Okay. However, because your energy can be this King of Swords or the Queen of Swords, and these people are a little bit prickly. They're not warm, and cuddly. They're not like verbally expressive or verbally like emotionally affectionate. So it would be really important, I feel, for this month. If you like somebody, let them know how you feel, because I feel that the feelings are being reciprocated. And likewise, aim to be a little bit more, behave in a physical way. So that means expressing yourself through touch, letting somebody know rather than just, asking them questions and things like that. That's all nice, but I feel like the relationship is going nowhere because two people are not comfortable to express how they feel. So rather than stalling on this, act on it. I feel it's going to be really important for you. Okay. So express yourself a little bit more for this month, especially if you have somebody in mind that you really like. Okay. And I feel like some of you have a crush on somebody right now, and you're definitely waiting on communication from them. You're waiting for them to take the first step. And you're also waiting for them, for their, if you're in a relationship, I feel like you're waiting for your partner's work situation to stabilize a little bit so that you both can spend more time together, and it's going to happen for you. Okay, so it's going to be a very beautiful month overall when it comes to love, relationships,